Today is just a quick 10-minute stretch and release flow. All we'll need is one block and our mat for this class. We're going to start standing, move your feet out underneath your hips, and we'll roll our shoulders back 5 times, lifting them up and back and around, up and back and around, squeezing the shoulder blades, and then we'll change directions. Squeeze together and roll forward. 3, 2 more, 4, and 5. Arms lift up overhead, inhale. Exhale, release down. Inhale, sweep them up and over. Exhale, down. Last time, inhale, sweep up and over. Exhale, lower down. We'll interlace our fingers behind our back. Try to keep your palm of your hands touching, and you'll squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your chest, and look up to the ceiling. Lifting your arms as far away from your back as you can, really reaching and looking up through your head, and also really opening the front of your chest and the front of your shoulders, your pectoral area here. That area can get really, really tight. Release your hands down. Right hand on your hip, left hand reaches up and over. Look under your arms, side stretch. Change sides, left hand on the hip, right arm up and over. Just as deep of stretch as feels good for you. Switch again, left arm comes over. And down, right arm up and over. And release one more time. Left hand goes over. You can tilt your hips over to the side. And last time, reach the right arm up. You can press through that right hip and release down. Step your feet really wide apart. Slide your hands down your legs. You can leave your hands on your legs. If you have a little more, you can fold forward and place your hands down onto the mat, allowing your upper body to hang really heavy, just like a rag doll, getting a nice stretch. If you want more and you feel good there, you can interlace your hands behind your back and allow them to fall forward as if they were going to fall over your head and touch the floor in front of you. That's only if it feels good for you. Otherwise, you can leave your hands on your legs or on the mat. Make sure your neck is soft. Release your hands and slowly start to roll up from the base of your spine all the way up to come to standing. Turn to face the front of your mat with your hips square. Your right leg will be forward. You'll lift your right arm up. You'll slide your left arm down your back leg and look up to the ceiling, getting a nice stretch in our peaceful warrior. You're on your right, I'll be on my left because we're mirroring. Then I'm going to move the block so you can see. You're going to turn your back foot in about 45 degrees. Your front foot will go all the way flat to the side. You'll reach forward and place your hand either on your shin or down by your ankle. And I'm going to turn to show you. We don't want our body forward of our leg. We want it to stack right on top of our leg so we're in a two-dimensional shape. And we're really trying to hug the ribs in towards our spine and make a straight line from our top arm all the way down to our bottom arm. And that's okay if you're not in as deep of a stretch here. And then release your hand, let it just fall behind your back to get an extra opening through your chest. Lift it back to the ceiling, look down to your bottom leg, lift all the way up, and we'll rotate. So turn the back foot in, rotate, square your hips off to the front. Your left leg will be up. Lift your left arm up and back as you slide your right down your leg to a peaceful warrior. Lift it back up, face your hips towards me. Turn your foot out, slide down to your shin or your ankle. Come into a triangle pose. You'll try to make your legs as straight as you can, lifting up through your quads, closing the ribs off. Top arm is matched over the bottom arm. Drop the arm back behind your back. Let it fall. Open through the chest a little more. Lift it back to the ceiling. Look down and lift all the way up and out. Beautiful. We'll turn our feet out slightly, about 45 degrees to each side, not too wide. Take the block and you're going to come sit your bum right on it. So we're in a modified squat position here. Your knees are trying to open back over your legs so they're not rolling inward. They're opening back, getting a nice stretch through our hip flexors and all the way around our hip joint as we sit down. And then reach your arms to the floor. Tailbone will come up to the ceiling. Walk your hands back to the front of the mat and step your foot back to meet your feet together. You can open your legs wider if you need more space for your belly to come back. And you can bend your knees as much as you need to. If you can get them straight, you can straighten the legs. But don't worry so much about making the legs straight. It's more about lengthening through the spine. So push your whole hand flat on the floor so all the knuckles should be down. And then we'll lower down onto our knees. Toes come together, knees go wide. Sink your hips back over your heels as much as you can to come into a child's pose. Your arms will reach forward and down. Try to straighten the arms and release your forehead to the mat if you can. Now, depending on where you're at, you may not be able to get all the way down onto your heels, and that's okay. Just go as low as you can into a place where you feel a nice stretch and a release. Look up, walk your hands back up underneath your shoulders. Move into our cat-cow. Pelvis tilts up, belly goes down, let your belly hang, lift the head, and then reverse that by tucking everything in, pulling the belly up. Pelvis tilts up, head looks to the ceiling. Exhale, round and tuck everything in. Pelvis down, look to the ceiling, lift. Exhale, round and tuck. Pelvis tilts, look up. Exhale, round it out. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Return to your neutral spine. Left leg will straighten and cross behind your right leg. Your leg is straight and you're twisting to look back over your extended left leg. So you're in a bit of a twist here. This will get a nice stretch through your hips and through your side. And breathe. And again, anytime you need to hold these longer, feel free to take a longer hold on these if you'd like. Release, come back to center. Cross the right leg over the left leg and look back over your left shoulder towards that right leg. Keep trying to hug the belly up and in. Nice, big, full, deep, even breaths. And release back. Find your tabletop position. Left arm will lift to the ceiling. You'll thread it underneath your right arm and you'll fold down. You'll look up to the ceiling and you'll twist your chest open to the ceiling. You can open your knees as wide as you need to here to make this comfortable. Just getting a nice rotation through the spine. Let everything open up. Return back to tabletop, lift the right arm, thread it underneath the left, and twist to look to the ceiling. Just going as deeply as feels good for you, where your body feels like it's getting a nice stretch and it can relax and open up. Return back to center and tabletop. We'll walk the hands forward here and release your forehead down to the mat, or if you have more opening, you can release your chin or your chest down into a puppy pose. So your hips stay high, your knees can be separated as wide as they need to be, and you're really opening up through the chest and the shoulders as you release down to the mat. Again, it's fine to leave your forehead on the mat, to put your chin on the mat, or if you're really open, you can drop and put your chest down on the mat. Walk yourself back up to your tabletop position and come to sit down onto your bum. Right leg will stretch out to the right side. You'll bend your left leg into your center and you'll reach up and over in a side stretch. You can go as deeply as feels comfortable for you. Your fingertips can go behind your leg, or if you have more range, you can drop down onto the elbow. And we'll lift back up and we're going to change legs. So switch those out. Reach up and over with the right to stretch to the left. Try to keep your body right to the side so you're getting a stretch through the side of your body. Just let your hand relax, your head release. Lift back up. The soles of your feet will come together into a butterfly stretch, and this time we're going to move our heels close to our bum. And we'll try to stretch over with a flat back. So a straight line from the head all the way out through the tailbone. You can use your elbows to help press those knees down and open up your hips a little bit more. Breathe nice and deep, diagonal line from head to tail. Lift everything back up. Cross your legs comfortably underneath you. And that was our quick stretch. Thanks for joining me.